Hi, I'm guessing that you may be a brilliant creative with new ideas bursting forth every day. Perhaps you looked at my last video title on how to be more creative and thought, that's the opposite of what I need. Maybe it even feels like your font of ingenious ideas is actually holding you back from finishing your projects and getting them into the world, where they can do some good and get you the income and professional status that you deserve and need. If you're wondering if there's such a thing as being too creative, well, you've come to the right place. My name is Patricia Morrison. I went from being a starving artist with a dream and nothing to show for myself to producing multiple CDs, touring nationally numerous times, and founding my business, Inner Fire, Outer Light. I help people who are overwhelmed, undervalued, and who have piles of unfinished projects to reclaim their creativity and refuel their lives. Working with me, my clients gain focus, energy, and confidence to turn their projects from dream to done, so they can generously share their gifts with the world and reap real rewards like income, self-respect, and recognition along the way. We all know that's what we need. So being a creative with millions of ideas is actually a profound gift to the world, but it can also feel like a curse. I know this. When we're constantly distracted by the newest, shiniest embryo of an idea, even when the last 10 are sitting on the shelf unfinished, I know, I have exactly the same temptation. And as fun as it is to constantly be creating new things, as the pile of unfinished project grows, it begins to drag you down. You lose confidence, you lose self-respect, and that all-important external proof that you're an artist, darn it! You can easily slide away from having art and creative work as your vocation and let it simply become a hobby when you lose those things. Now, there's nothing wrong with creative hobbies, but if creating is your calling in the world, if you have to do it, then relegating it to a hobby means that you're cheating the rest of the world out of experiencing your vision, a vision that could change hearts and minds, could inspire action for good, and I know this too from experience, could help hard-working social good creators keep inspired during their tough times. We all know how a good song or a piece of art can inspire us to go on when we're doing hard work. That could be your art. Oh, and you're also squelching your own voice, which shows up as resentment, impatience, lack of motivation, low-level depression, and more. So if you think that doesn't impact your income, your relationships, and your happiness, think again. All right, so maybe now you've admitted that relegating this creative fountain to a hobby could be a bad thing. So what do you do about it? What's next? Here's the secret. Are you ready for this? The most motivating, inspiring, and craft-honing act is to finish a big creative project and get it out in the world, especially when it brings back praise, income, and stories of how it's impacted other people's lives. But that's easier said than done, right? I mean, how do you go from burbling over with ideas to choosing one or three to finish? Then, once you've chosen them, how do you finish them? Well, that's where the 4 components of turning your brilliant ideas into finished work come into play. I use the metaphor of conceiving and raising a child. I hope that the men out there will come along with me on this metaphor. So the first part is to go from wishing for to trying for. And this is a lot of mindset issues. This is where you wonder, are you investing belief, time, money, and your life goals with your creative work? And changing those mindset issues is really like 80% of the work. The second part is to recognize that it takes a village to raise a child. You've heard that phrase before many times, I'm sure. But the same is true for our creative projects, our creative children. That support and accountability, both on an individual level and in a group level, is so vital. It's one of the biggest myths about creativity that we should do it all by ourselves. while solitude can be really helpful in the creative process, having support and accountability is what helps us get our projects done and out in the world. The third part is being able to go from conception to college. I mean, those 18 years of raising a child, or 19 years roughly, or 22 years, as some parents might say, are really important. And you can't do it without a plan and a process. You can't do it in your typical busy life unless you figure out how to fit it in. Anyone who's had a child knows that it reorients your priorities in a major way. And the same is true of a creative project. Some of them take more time than others, but all of them have to be fit into our lives. And the last of the 4 components is what I call my baby can cook, because what you're doing is making sure that your project becomes alive and sustainable in the world in such a way that it not only serves others and shows your vision to the world, but it can actually come back and take care of you so that you can continue to create, because that is important. We don't just want one brilliant idea from you, we want lots of brilliant ideas in the world. And so you might say, okay, well, all that's well and good, the 4 components, but how do I do that? I mean, that's, again, easier said than done. Well, yes, I have programs and retreats that help you leap over those mindset challenges, get the village you need, develop a customized plan to take your project from conception to college, and make sure it can cook, earn, and support you back. So look below this video for details and join us. You can also find out more at the website, which is innerfireouterlight.com. And be in touch. I always love to hear about your projects. It's the most exciting part of my job. And I offer many resources to those who join my list, free and otherwise. So do join us. Become part of the conversation. I want to get your stories and your creative gifts out into the world. Have a great day.